they're talking about your comments regarding Occupy Providence and your feeling there. Maybe you could reiterate that. I gather you have some sympathy to what they're trying to do.
Oh, absolutely. This is about, for me, from what I see from the outside, a protest against the American way of life. So the Occupy movement is about America under siege, and most importantly the middle class, and that's what made America great. The programs that built our middle class in any country. When you have a strong middle class, you have a strong country. And what they're saying out there in these camps is we can't make it anymore. We have a good job, we're working hard, and we can't make it. And the social programs that built that middle class are under siege, and I like to say in particular, those that allow people to get an education at both ends of the spectrum. Pre-K, that's a Head Start program, a federal Head Start program, and on the upper end, everybody gets a chance to go to CCRI, to Rhode Island College, to URI, and those are Pell Grants that help. And those programs are under siege right now, and that's the protest. And as a result, once you squeeze the middle class, what happens is you have disparity of wealth. And that's harmful to any country's vitality when a small percent of the population has a huge percentage of
But how do you fund it? That you're going to need taxes, which seems to me you're going to hit the middle class unless you decide to tax the rich. Would
in
you
the
tax the
early
rich?
90s, the economy was very difficult. In fact, the line during the presidential campaign of 1992, Bill Clinton against George H.W. Bush was, "It's the economy, stupid." That was the popular line of that campaign. It's nothing else matters, it's the economy. Times were tough back then. President Clinton came in and he put in a tax package to address the deficits. And that tax package was very comprehensive, and it particularly made the wealthy pay their fair share. But what happened is the economy took off. The economy took off. We had one of the lowest unemployments in American history by the 1998. And so it worked. And then President Bush came in election 2000. I was there in 2001, Vice President Cheney saying we're going to take all of what President Clinton did and rip it up. And what happened? Deficits came roaring back and the economy crashed. These are the facts. These are indisputable facts. And I voted against every one of those Bush-Cheney tax cuts because I like having people working. I like low unemployment. I don't like foreclosures on houses. And we have the opportunity through a vote I took, mine was the critical vote, that the Bush-Cheney tax cuts expired in 10 years. Now President Obama made the decision to extend them for another year, but they're coming up. Get rid of that Bush-Cheney tax package. Bring back the Clinton tax package. It worked. But that's relevant to what the Occupy Providence people are.
Have you visited the camps?
I have not.
Because I feel like, I think it's interesting, it is sort of this middle class campaign, but I think a lot of the people who have initiated this revolt are actually my age and are in college still. So, where do they have grounds to talk about being in the middle class when they haven't even gotten there yet?
Those in college, they're looking at, in this office, so many of our people in this office are looking at decades of paying off college loans.
Don't you see that?
That's difficult to buy a house, to make investments, take a risk, which is what builds an economy. When you're under the heavy yoke of college loans for decades.
And with tuition increases and the amount of debt that college students are already accruing, don't you feel like that's sort of a vicious cycle for the economy as well? A big factor for, this roller coaster that you referred to of the economy? Is there some way to fix that problem?
I don't see it as a factor in the roller coaster, but I see it as a harmful factor to economic growth. Any kind of debt, in my view, is harmful. You want want people to take risks. And when you have debt, it stifles risk taking.